Hi guys, this is Christian from Next Level Spine and Sports, and today we're back talking about the weighted carry. In this video we're going to introduce some more advanced variations of that weighted carry. But before we do so, we want to talk about a principle that largely relates to how and why we do the weighted carry itself. And that principle is the center of mass. So center of mass relates to where the center of my being is relative to my movement, or if I add a load to the system. So when I'm just here standing in a normal resting position, my center of mass is approximately 2 inches below my umbilical or at my belt buckle. Now, this is important to the weighted carry because anytime we have a deviation in this position here, my center of mass follows. So if I extend my arms up overhead, then my center of mass moves upward as well. So the reason why it applies to the weighted carry is that the farther my center of mass gets from my base of support, the more demand there is on my system to stabilize. So when we looked at the farmer's carry previously, we saw the implements by my side were in relative close proximity to my center of mass and to my base of support. With that being said, it's a relatively simple carry, although there are still great demands to it. In these more advanced variations that we're going to look at today, we're going to see those variations work farther up our system and move our center of mass farther from my base of support and up the chain all the way up overhead. So we'll start looking at those variations now, where initially the implements were down by my side. The first variation we're going to look at is a low seesaw carry with one in the front rack, one by the side. As you see, we're slowly moving farther away from my base of support. The next will be the double front rack carry. So I move even further up the chain and my center of mass is following. Next will be the high seesaw carry with one bell up overhead in the waiter's walk or the waiter's carry and one in the front rack. Finally, followed by the most advanced double overhead carry where I have both weights supported overhead and my center of mass is farthest from my base of support. So again, the center of mass is so important to the weighted carry because the farther that center of mass gets from my base of support, the more demand there is to support, carry, stabilize that load as I'm moving it from one place to another. Along with that, when my center of mass is really far from my base of support, I have a greater demand to resist extension, lateral flexion, and rotation. And those are the most important factors in creating a solid position and a solid framework throughout your system when you're doing this carry or any exercise in general. So with these being more advanced, there has to be a disclaimer that there is a little bit more involvement in mobility in the shoulder and in the thoracic spine to get into the proper position to efficiently carry, support, and move these loads. So with that being said, there may have to be a decrease in weight. Although there's a decrease in weight, don't underestimate the fact that we will still get very large strength gains and conditioning gains as well. So we sacrifice a little bit of load for a greater demand and stabilization throughout that system and throughout my framework. So your take-home points here are the farther that load gets away, the more stabilization we're going to need, and that's going to be a really good thing as far as a strength standpoint in creating solid positions. So try these in your strength and conditioning routine. I hope you enjoyed them. Give them a shot.